Welcome to the second part of our walkthrough of Busch Gardens in beautiful Williamsburg, Virginia. We left off last time in part 1 in the Rhineland section of Germany, and now we're going to continue on through the Octoberfest section of Germany. Again, Busch Gardens has some spectacular landscaping and architecture, as you can tell with that huge castle in front of us. What's this path over here? Well, there are some cooling misters for a hot Virginia day. That looks like a pretty scary queue line. That's for Curse of Darkcastle, a large simulator ride, a dark ride, sort of like a high-tech haunted house. And there's the other ornate iron archway, and we're now coming into the Bavarian Germany section, or also known as Octoberfest. And there's the entrance to Curse of Darkcastle. Again, notice the really nice architecture. There's lots of murals painted on the walls. And of course, the appropriate music. Beautiful plantings. Those stuffed animals would be a little too big to fit in my car. Ah, minions. That's more like it. Now that colorful butterfly display sits in front of the Festhaus, the largest indoor eatery in the world. Let's take a look inside. And there are souvenirs on the left as you enter, and beer on the right. Curiously, there's no Budweiser. And that's the set for Entwined, a stage show about the grim fairy tales. And over there on the right is the cafeteria entrance, where you can get sauerkraut, or bratwurst, or pizza. And that stage is actually in the middle of the building. There's a lot more seating behind it. Notice the beautifully detailed wall. As you can see, the place is absolutely huge. And that gorgeous stained glass window was the symbol for the Anheuser-Busch Company. Now off there in the distance is the entrance to the Black Forest Picnic Village. That's reserved for outings. And on our right now is the Autobahn bumper car ride. this is Verbolten. One of the park's newer coasters. It replaced the legendary Big Bad Wolf. And whoosh, there it goes, off into a building. Nice shady areas to relax. Lockers if you have stuff you need to put aside. And this is the entrance to Verbolten. Again, nicely themed. And that's Mock Tower, which is the park's big drop tower. Here comes Verbolten into the station. And now we leave Octoberfest and walk across this long bridge over the Rhine River. Notice the bridge is filled with misters and fans up in the canopies to help keep the park guests cool. Virginia summers, like I said, are really hot, and amenities like this are really nice for guests. Now the Rhine River Cruise is down there below, and you can also see the Loch Ness Monster and Alpengeist in the background. And on the other side here, you can see the big train trestle going across the river, and there's Verbolten's big drop. And here it comes. And now we're entering San Marco, an impressive rendering of what a street in Old Italy might look like. And notice how the stone on the buildings has been aged to make it look as if it's been there for centuries. There's an advertisement for one of the park's many shows, Mix It Up, which is a combination of brass and percussion performances. And that is El Teatro di San Marco, where the Mix It Up performance is. Notice there are percussion pieces that are basically two racks of pots and pans. It's basically an outdoor stage with cafe tables where you can dine and be serenaded. And there are also relaxing waterfalls on either side. The weird background music you hear is not Italian music from hell. This area has popular music. In this case, it was Dean Martin singing That's Amore. So to avoid the copyright police, I just reversed the background. There are some humorously labeled restrooms over there. And it's right next to the Ristorante della Piazza, where you can order typical Italian meals like eggplant parmesan. And again, nice little gift shops scattered all around the park. Now we're entering what I think is one of the most creatively landscaped areas of the park. There are several imaginatively themed flat rides here, so let's take a walk around that section. Over here is the entrance to Battering Ram, which is basically a pirate ship ride. And then over here are some more kiddie rides. And one of the things I like about the park is that they not only have a lot of children's play areas, but they also have kiddie rides scattered throughout the park, so that adults with small children aren't limited to just one area they have to be in. They can actually explore the whole park with the kids, and the kids always have something to do. Now, if we were to take sort of left here, we would be leaving the park. But instead, we're going to take a right and go over this bridge. And we're going to go into the Festa Italia section. It's basically another large cul-de-sac, but it's festively decorated. And we'll make a circle around it. And there's a track for the steam railroad.
Are you ready? On your mark.
Didn't know they played basketball in ancient Italy, did you?
Push up. Daddy shark our pop.
And in front of us is the teacup ride.
Push it up.
And the midway here basically makes a big circle around that ride.
That's good.
Again, for your own safety, please keep your hands, arms, and legs down and inside the cup, and remain sitting upright, facing forward at all times.
Now, off to the left over there is the Roman Rapids ride, which is great for cooling down on a hot day. And then in front of us now is the Festa train station, one of the stops for the steam train. And tucked into the corner over here is one of the best rides in the park, Apollo's Chariot, a 200-foot hypercoaster that keeps you out of your seat for most of the journey. And it's also where Fabio got beamed by a goose. So that's the Festa Italia section. Let's walk back across the bridge. And this will take us on the last leg of our journey. We're going to take this beautiful shady path down toward the park entrance. But we have one more major ride to look at along the way. You can see a boat floating by down there. We have come to Escape from Pompeii, which is a heavily themed shoot-the-chutes ride. Another great way to cool off on a hot day. It's 90 degrees out with 80% humidity. The more water rides, the better. So you get pulled up on the left there into that big building, and you experience the collapse of civilization. And then you get spewed out and fly down that chute and get drenched. And let's watch that happen. You can see a platform over there where people stand and they can get soaked as the boat comes down. Ah, that felt good.
Oh, excuse me.
And over here is another children's play area. This one is the Sesame Street Forest of Fun. It's got lots of Sesame Street themed rides and a big spray ground for them to play in.
Yeah, let's wait until...
And there's the aeronaut coming in for a landing at the station on the right. And up ahead there on the left is the Tweedside train station in Scotland.
Sesame Street.
Now, if we head left from here, we'll end up in Scotland. So we're going to go right and head back into Banbury Cross and to the entrance. And that brings us full circle through one of the best theme parks in the world. It really requires a multi-day visit. As you've seen, there's no way that you could experience this entire park in just one day. There's also a sort of sister park down the road, Water Country USA, so if you don't get wet enough on the rides in the park, you can go there and spend a day relaxing in lots of water. And also nearby is, of course, historic Williamsburg, so there's plenty to do in the area. So I hope you enjoyed this walkthrough of the park, and I hope you get a chance to spend some time at Busch Gardens, Williamsburg.